In the 1950s, the Michigan Railroad Club out of Detroit was involved in sponsoring steam excursions on the Grand Trunk Western Railroad. GTW, of course, one of the last Class I railroads in the United States to use steam in standard gauge service, operating steam until 1960. The following year, 1961, it operated two 484s in excursion service, and the Michigan Railroad Club was involved in sponsorship of some of those trips. But then, after September 1961, steam went away from GTW for about 5 years, and during that time, the Michigan Railroad Club turned to Southern Ontario and sponsored excursions on the Canadian National Railway. The Michigan Railroad Club made this hand-drawn map for one of its excursions. Given the initials on the map, I believe it was done by well-known club president Art Weber. It shows Southern Ontario, most of the branch lines since abandoned or spun off. On September 21st, 1963, the club sponsored a steam run from Windsor to London, Ontario. Then it continued to St. Mary's, where there was a movie run at the High Bridge, then on to Stratford and return. The morning begins with 6167 in the Walkerville section of Windsor. Then we're heading east on the CN main line out of Windsor. At London, we find a freight motor of the electrified London and Port Stanley. A photo run at the High Bridge at St. Mary's. And more photo runs along the way. At Stratford, the big CN shops were doing their last steam work. They were overhauling for operation 484-6218 for service the following year. They also were able to provide cosmetic restoration to CN 484-6200 and streamlined 484-6400. They went to display at the Canada Science and Technology Museum in Ottawa. The 5700 was restored for display at the Elgin County Railway Museum in St. Thomas. The next morning, September 22nd, 1963, we take an excursion from London to St. Thomas and return. I'm pretty sure this is a film from that day, a sunny day as we once again head out east of Windsor. At Glencoe, we switch off and go towards St. Thomas. There's a movie run along the way. Then it's a year later, September 19, 1964, and we take the trip in boldface on the map. Diesels took us from Windsor to London. Then 6167 was placed on the train. The typical event sheet given on excursions told us that these weekend trips, identical trips on both the 19th and the 20th, were among the last for 6167. Then on we went out of London on a rainy southern Ontario day, across the big bridge at St. Mary's. Arriving in Guelph, Ontario, we found a pair of CN GMD1 locomotives on an idle commuter train awaiting its next run to Toronto. Leaving Guelph, we get a picture of an early 1960s Ontario small city. There's a movie run, looks like it's in the rain. We arrive at Palmerston, once a hub of CN branch lines, now all gone. Only the line to Goderich at left remains. CN spun it off to a short line. At Palmerston, we found CN 260 number 81, which operated in the Palmerston area until retirement and donation to the city for display in 1959. Overlooking Palmerston is a pedestrian bridge. It remains to this day, even though active tracks are gone. The only tracks remaining are for museum displays. On to a movie run, and it again looks like it's raining. Another movie run. The 61-67 returned us to London, then came a fast diesel run back to Windsor. The 61-67 is on static display at Guelph.